And I suppose I just want to ask a question about, you know, the long-term game. I understand the commercial element of it, but like, ideally, you'd love to see that the state, it's going to be used, we'll say, and I know you spoke about Dublin Fire Brigade, or, you know, that there is, we'll say, search and rescue missions where I live, search and rescue operations between the sea and mountain rescue, and that you'd love to see it, maybe, you know, that there is more advancement within even, you know, technologies around monitoring and security our own territorial waters. But in the end game, I suppose, ideally, that I'd love to see research, or in other countries, that the state has, they're using drones more than commercial entities, I suppose, and that they would take precedent always, that it's going to be for the benefit of our own state. And also, I think another question I would have would be the impact on jobs. Has there been research that, you know, like, if commercial entities it's our delivery services, it is going to have an impact on jobs? And is that being taken into the policy framework? Is there going to be some kind of feasibility studies or comparative studies in other countries about the impact that it has on jobs, that drone technology, commercial drone technology, will have on jobs?
Corey, look, I can just quickly jump in just on a kind of a neutral kind of view on that public-private type endeavour in terms of drone operations, and just say, like, that balance, of course, has to be there, that you, on the one hand, got commercially led drone activities, but equally we can see that there are a lot of uses. We're ourselves at Maynooth are involved with DCC, with the Dublin Fire Brigade. We've got an exercise coming up in a few weeks there to look at that. We're with the Irish Coast Guard. We're in discussions with Dublin Port as well, and this extends. We were down with Coast Guard in Rossaveel back in November, looking at a you know, search and rescue and the role of drones there. So that balance has to be struck. I won't comment on the job potential there.
Yeah, in terms of access, Senator, in terms of access to airspace for the state services, so Garda Síochána, Óglaigh na hÉireann, Irish Coast Guard, it's a state asset. So everybody, commercial entity or state asset, a state operator, should I say, have access to the state airspace.
And what about jobs? Would there be any? Is there any kind of reference to, you know, the impact that it will have in the workforce? I suppose if you follow it through, you can see, is there going to be passenger drones? Is there, you know, how is that? But is there any kind of reference to that in the framework? You know, about the impact it will have on jobs?
No, not to date. It is an evolving technology. There will be jobs created. Yes, they will balance out with losses potentially in other sectors, but you know that there is a workforce there potentially who. I don't know, you're talking delivery drivers or something like that.
The impact that it will have on
well, pilots will be required. The food services industry will obviously ramp up if the drone industry deliveries take off, so there will be jobs created there. But no, to answer your question, no, there's no specific research on it at the moment.
And just to quickly, Corey, look, if I may, just for like 10 seconds, like if you were to go back and look at the EU's prediction on this, there's 145,000 jobs EU-wide. I know that's not particularly just Ireland, but just to kind of give you a rough kind of ballpark, and they've got a 14.5 billion value by 2030
Thank you.
on that drone
Thank you.
system.